It's only fitting that the opening salvos of the 1995 final series should be fired under the MCG lights. For it has been at night on this ground twice already that North Melbourne and Richmond have produced memorable encounters. Round 4, history was made as 62,000 embraced Monday night footy as the Tigers kicked 9 first-quarter goals and won their 4th in a row by 49 points. Round 19, the Tigers again get the jump. 7 goals in the second quarter saw them skip away, only to be caught by the Carey-inspired Roos. 10 points the margin. Tonight we're back on Friday night football. The opening qualifying final between the 3rd place Tigers, the 6th placed North Melbourne.
Hello, welcome everybody to the MCG, an historic weekend in Melbourne for more reasons than one. 4 finals for the first time, and for the first time a Friday night final. A huge crowd as expected at the Melbourne Cricket Ground for Richmond versus North Melbourne. And Gerard Healy, welcome on a Friday night with a bit of a difference here.
Well, they've been fantastic all season, and with the Tigers here playing their first final for 14 years, I'm really looking forward to it, and I think it'll be a great game that should go down to the wire.
Michael Gale and Stuart Wigney back in for Richmond, and Glenn Archer's back in for North Melbourne. This is as selected. Richmond to the right of screen, kicking that way in the yellow, and North Melbourne to the white. But this is the way you think they'll line up, and it's pretty tight in the middle.
I think there'll be some great battles in there, particularly Scholl against Campbell. I think Blakey will pick up Knights, and on the other wing, King against Bauer.
Let's look at the key matchups in blue, and we start with Allison.
Well, I think Allison is going to be a dangerous player for the Tigers. He chopped them up in a couple of quarters last time out, and I think he will drag their best go-with player in Bond, who normally gets Swass. That will leave the Tigers to find somebody for Swass. I think Rogers will pick him up. But the 2 centre-half forwards, I think, will be the key players in this game. Carey, of course, for North Melbourne. Big job for Bullis. And Brendan Gale, perhaps not quite as consistent as Carey, but still effective on his night.
The 1995 AFL Premiership season. Brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors Australia, Qantas, McDonald's, Mobil, Carlton Draft, and National Australia Bank.
Well, that really gets the pulse racing, doesn't it, when you look at those lineups and some of the key matchups. Richmond winning 10 of their first 11, North in the middle winning 8 out of 9. We'll take a break, back with more after this.
The very best of the world in sport, as seen through the eyes of the world's best commentators. Sunday mornings on Sport World.
Back to the MCG, the first of the finals. North Melbourne and Richmond on screen at this very moment. Lee Matthews in attendance tonight, sacked yesterday, well, stood down as Collingwood coach, really. He'll be working radio tonight in Melbourne and looking on one day after he left Collingwood after 10 years and winning that final for them in 1990 on this ground after that long wait since 1958. Well, the Tigers have had a long wait, so have North Melbourne. Only a couple of flags, 75-77. They really need to win tonight, because they will be very vulnerable if they lose this match tonight, with other games coming up on the weekend. Kevin Bartlett and Sam Kekovich also working radio. KB with the binoculars up. Played more games for Richmond than anybody else. Sam Kekovich from North Melbourne. Let's go down to Craig Willis for the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Australian Football League and Coca-Cola welcome you to tonight's qualifying final. Would you please stand for the playing of the national anthem?
See
Well, that's always a stirring scene, isn't it? At any major sporting event. As the flags are waving here at the MCG, Tiger fans in their thousands here. Dipper down on the ground. Wayne Carey and Matthew Knight's about to join him for the toss of the coin. Here's Dipper.
Thanks very much, Bruce. As you said, the atmosphere electrifying here. Wayne Carey's won the toss and kicking left of screen, Bruce. And the middle of the ground is very, very hard. Notice my umbrella. You've really got to force the umbrella in, Bruce.
Good on you, Dipper. Who are you going for?
I'm going for the Tigers tonight. Go Tigers!
Good on you, mate. Carey winning the toss. There's Dennis Pagan in his third season at North Melbourne. Welcome, Robbo.
Yes, thanks, Bruce. I'm looking forward to this. I think this will probably be the best game of this weekend. I think these two teams are very, very closely attended. I think North Melbourne showed that they've got tremendous spirit. They came back from something like a 6-goal deficit in the second quarter. The last time they played, there's Tony Jewell and Swoop and Northey, Kevin Morris. There's some experience there, but I don't discount Richmond. I think that they've been a side that has just been absolutely sensational throughout the season.
North going to the right of screen. Carey winning the toss.
Prescott, Wigney and Miranda coming off the ground for Richmond.
Tiger bench sitting down. Grant Vernon, Greg Scroop, Darren Goldspeak, the umpires tonight.
Mark Robertson, Freeborn are two of the players, and Anthony Dwyer on the bench for North Melbourne.
Carey and Bullis. There's Grant Vernon with them. His fifth final for the 30-year-old. So Bullis with a job on Carey. Start of the game at the MCG, the first of the finals. McKernan and Deere had a couple of goes. Swash came out of the middle. First kick to Armstrong to half forward. Carey went to ground. About to sweep on a Blakey. Can kick a goal inside the first minute. It's a beauty. It's home. Blakey gets the first. They're pumped. Are the Kangas.
Oh, there's nothing more exhilarating than the first goal in a final going to your side. Armstrong just getting the ball out of the middle. He did line up on Broderick. Rock there on screen getting picked up by Callaway, but this is just good work from Blakey, who has been such a volatile and good recruit for North Melbourne since crossing from Fitzroy some years ago.
So an important first goal in the game, kicked by John Blakey for North Melbourne. Corey McKernan and Greg Deere go at it once again. Robert Scott gets a quick right foot to it. It only goes pretty well straight up in the air. It's punched away by Bond, kicked forward by Campbell. The Tigers are up towards half-forward right. The bouncing ball is a bit awkward. Fairley doesn't take any risks, neither does Ross Smith. And the ball goes over for a throw-in about 50 metres around from the Richmond goal. Ross Smith, one of the evergreens at North Melbourne. And we've spoken about the weather. At present, no rain falling, but a little bit cool here in Melbourne today. But I guess people get warmed up when they see the football and they see the MCG. And the lights just add that little bit more flavour. North Melbourne odds on, the Tigers at even money. Brendan Gale does the ruck work. The ball comes out to Smith. He's knocked off by Brendan Gale. Away goes Fairley and takes it over for a throw-in.
The North bench, Freeborn there, along with Dwyer and Roberts. Gale goes at the back. Chance here, Broderick's little left footer, Campbell off the ground. It's a behind. Almost a couple of toe pokes there from the Tigers. Campbell so important. It's been outstanding. Favourite for the best and fairest at Richmond this year. Anderson goes short. Gets it out wide to Ross Smith. Well over 200 games now. Pushes it wider still towards King. Archer did well. Paved the way. Did King get a high tackle? No free kick. Archer with him Tate. Now, oh gee, King let go there on Tate. It's forced forward. Archer on the left boot. It's coming back. Free kick North Melbourne. Well, you'd expect an opening like this. Plenty of fire in the belly. King from centre wing, not a good kick. McKernan out of play at half forward left. North with an early goal. Tiger fans, gee, they've waited a long time. Some of them probably, in fact, many of them wouldn't have been born when they were last in the finals.
Ruck contest, McKernan gets his left hand to it, Allison. Couldn't take the football with him, Archer. Into the path of Armstrong. He just squeezes a little left footer. Rock goes after it. And Campbell harassing successfully. Ball spills for a throw-in. Left forward pocket, 50 metres from the North Melbourne goal. Left kick to goal through John Blakey. The Tigers have answered a rush behind kick by Wayne Campbell. Knocked away by Deere. Kick forward by Archer. In towards full forward. Longmire. The ball bounces very, very awkwardly for that player. Turner goes short. Campbell marks for Richmond. He's allowed to play on. He's got a little bit of space, so he kicks effectively to the wing. No mark. The ball spills to the back. Fairley gets it to Schwass. Schwass is a very clever player. He's efficient. His left foot kick lands 50 metres from the North Melbourne goal. It's punched away. Tigers get clear. Broderick, a very, very good mover in the middle of the ground. Rogers, a lovely left foot kick by Rogers. Oh, top stuff. Terrific stuff by Geister. Geister's kick goes wide. That ball goes straight past Bond and Allison. Back goes Matty Knights. He's caught. He should be penalised, and he will be. Tried to beat the tackler, and Allison tied him up. Allison off the left foot. Not a bad kick, good lead, good mark, Longmire. 40 metres out, directly in front.
And at present, it's the North Melbourne midfield that really is doing the damage. Swash just appears to be playing a little bit wide of Campbell at the present time. That may change as the two sides settle down. But Campbell has started in the midfield. Not on the wing as expected, and Bauer is now playing on Craig Scholl.
Longmire for North Melbourne's second goal. It's a wobbly punt kick, but it's effective.
The Eagles limp on September, but Shady loves success. It's finals footy, and you can be there on Saturday night replay.
Good start to North, a couple of goals. Blakey and then Longmire. Broderick caught up by Schwass in the centre. Another ball up. Midfield so vital here. Campbell's had 3 kicks early. Schwass a couple of touches. John Northey looking on with Tony Jewell. Chandler selectors. John Northey, coach. His 3rd season at Richmond. Deere. Rock's quick kick, a good one. Well inside 50. Bullis and Carey. Bullis works it towards the boundary line. He's happy with that. Out of play. Paul Bullis and Wayne Carey. Throw in at half forward. McKernan and Deere. Tape caught up. Good tackle by Rock. North's razor sharp early, aren't they? It's 2 goals, the Kangaroos. Darren Goldspink, Greg Scroop, Grant Vernon. Goldspink did a grand final in '93. First final for Greg Scroop tonight. Broderick, Kellaway, who had his nose broken last Saturday night. Well done by Daffy. He kicked 6 in the opening match against these 2 teams in round 4. Centre half forward. Geister, pretty good. It'll be a ball up. But Geister started extremely well with an early touch. He's only played the 1 game. That was against Fitzroy.
Matching up on Justin Charles at this stage. And that contest was pretty good. The ball flipped out. Here goes Campbell. Little tap on Jerica. Chris Nash goes down. That looked all right. Was it a bit high, Jared?
I thought it was a bit of a legitimate bump in the
finals football stuff, wasn't it?
That's what it looked like, Robbo. Maybe it was taken a bit high. Let's have another look. Well, he certainly would get a point for an assist.
It was across the head, but gee whiz, I think Australian rules footballers are fantastic. They stand up under those sort of circumstances, but Chris Nash should and does kick Richmond's first goal. So Richmond answer. They've kicked 1-1. North Melbourne have kicked 2 straight. The margin is 5 points in favour of the Kangaroos.
Let's just have another look at this free. Probably you could argue a little bit lucky, but as you rightly pointed out, Robbo, it was technically there. There's another look at it from a different camera's perspective. But Chris Nace, as he often does, gets an early goal to have Ross Smith just worried a touch. Interesting to see Scott in the middle picking up Knights.
1-1 to 2 goals. McKernan Oh, gee, dear, into him hard there. Off the ground by Scott, gets it to centre half forward. Carey using the body. Little give to Allison. Allison's handball out wide to Scott. Hip and shoulder by Rogers, excellent. Campbell actually concedes ground, had an airy. Longmire can kick his second. He's got it. Another one. Longmire with 2 early goals. 3 goals North, 1-1.
Well, just a start that the Kangaroos would be looking for. I'm sure they pinpointed their last 2 games as having poor starts against the Tigers. One they were able to come back from in round 19. One they were miserable losers. So this is a tremendous start for the Kangaroos.
3 goals to 1-1, North Melbourne lead. Jumping early, McKernan. Scholl really taken out of it there. It was North Melbourne's Archer. Forced forward by Knights. Nearly, no, taken by Gale. Gives away a bit of ground. Back to Knights. Knights' kick is pretty good. Up towards full forward. It's punched away. Back towards the wing. Schwass very effectively to Fairley. Fairley goes down the wing. Archer gets rid of his opponent. That was Jamie Tate. The ball goes back to Rogers. Rogers' little lift foot kick. Well done. Mark taken by Bauer. Not much margin for error. Bauer is marked right on the sponsor's logo. He's kicked towards centre half forward. Getting underneath it there was Charles. Laidley goes after it. Only had eyes for the football. Kick clear by Anderson. Not taken by Allison. Bond. He's caught. He didn't have anywhere near control of the football. And the umpire was only 15 metres away. Brett Allison looks amazingly at the umpire.
Just
what do you think of this, Gerard?
Just slipping from underneath Bond. Well, I didn't think he had a chance to get rid of it, so good decision.
Fair enough. The ball with Matthew Knights. He can't clear that congestion. It's kicked clear towards the boundary line. Goes over for a throw-in just in North Melbourne's forward half. They lead 3 goals straight. Richmond are 1-1.
Barry Round looking on. Shared a Brownlow medal, didn't he, with Bernie Quinlan. Some famous faces here tonight. Free kick to Deere. Greg Deere. In his 15th final appearance. 14 of them with the Hawks. Good play at the back by North. Through the centre, Anderson. To Longmire. Worked his way under it. It was takeable. Tate. Turner out of play. Left forward pocket. Jamie Tate. The second season. John Longmire. Couple of early goals. 51 now for the season. North by 11 points.
Richmond's defence under a lot of pressure early in this game. McKernan in front. Matthew Armstrong couldn't get clear with the football. Bond. He's an important player for the Tigers. He likes to get a bit of the football too, Chris Bond. Fairley gets through and kicks anxiously towards half forward. Under pressure again, Richmond's defence, but the ball comes clear. It was Broderick Knights. Campbell gets past and then gets a kick away. Only just up towards half forward. Charles is there. What could he do? Little back foot kick. Laidley after the footy. Underneath there, Geister. Rock gets it to Ross Smith. In turn, Schwass. Schwass gets onto his left foot. The kick is ordinary by Wayne Schwass standards. Rogers, his kick to the 50-metre line. No mark again, but Nath positioned himself beautifully. Brendan Gale from a standing start. It's going to be a Tiger goal. It's got to be. It's Nick Daffy. Kick it, son. He does. Richmond's second goal. A bit of anxiety there for Richmond fans, but Nick Daffy mopped it up. The margin back to 5 points in favour of the Kangaroos.
Yeah, bad turnover there with a poor kick from Wayne Schwass, picked up by Rogers, and then quickly back into the Tiger forward line. That's the way they play their style of game. Get the pressure on the defenders by getting the ball down quickly. And Nick Daffy just getting away from Dean Laidley to score an easy goal.
Tigers 2-1, North 3 goals. Schwass out of the centre to centre half forward. Carey front spot, free kick against Bullis.
Dean Laidley lined up on Nick Daffy last time they played a few weeks ago, but he was concussed by getting kicked in the head, so didn't have a great measure of the form. There's a replay of that infringement. Just a little bit marginal.
Carey from 55 gives it a big push to behind.
Fair result.
3-1 to 2-1. Turner to kick it in. It's got Bond very short. See Bond right of screen. Now Greg Deer's the target, I think. He's going out in that direction. Oh, good grab though by Archer, who can thump the footy. Goes to Longmire in the pocket. Michael Gale stood his ground. Good to see him back. Hasn't played since that thriller against Essendon.
Both players, though, Archer and Gale, similar types, very hard at the ball, and terrific inclusions for their respective clubs.
Michael Gale kicks into the centre. Brendan Gale at the back. Scott's handball. Schloss couldn't get away. Broderick got hold of him. Two of the sweetest left footers in the game, Schloss and Broderick. And another bounce. What a season Broderick's having. There are the tackles. North up on Richmond at this stage. Tate missed Rogers completely. Free kick though coming back to Tate. So the Tigers to go forward at centre wing.
Jamie Tate has been a good contributor for Richmond since crossing from South Australia. His kick goes in towards centre half forward. No mark. Campbell mopping up. Wayne Campbell lets himself down. Gee whiz. It's amazing just that little bit extra pressure that the players can sense, Gerard, in a final. Campbell would have kicked that 19 times out of 20 in home and home.
You would think so. He didn't kick it with all that much force, though. Just trying to dribble that one through.
There's another one. Mickey Martin dropping a straightforward mark, but he had time to recover and kick the ball to the centre of the ground. Taken by Bond. Grabbed by the jumper, but got his kick away only as far as Anderson. And Anderson has marked across half-back for North Melbourne.
He's had a good season, Anderson. To Schloss. Best and fairest last year at the club. Gets to centre wing with real pace and very solid shepherding there. Coming from King. Good take though in the front. Tate. Very reliable, isn't he? Kicks to centre wing. Brendan Gale. Fairly down to Michael Gale. Round the body. A couple of early kicks will help him. Deer chopped it off. I think Daffy was probably in the box seat. Laidley gets it back cleverly. Anderson another possession. Into the centre. Important ball now. Knights to go with Scott. Knights' left footer. Effective. Chance for Bauer, who can really run. Scholl with him. Tigers with a bit of numbers. Bauer clever. On the left foot to the pocket. Jerica versus Martin. Some strength there. Free kick. No. Yes, coming back. Free kick Jerica. The umpire was going to give the advantage on, but saw that Nash was under pressure, so Greg Scroop has come back to Jerica.
Interesting this one, because it was Jerica who actually started the pushing, and Mickey finished it off.
Well,
Robbo rolls the eyes.
I think it squares the ledger. I didn't think there was much in the Bullis free kick against Carey just a few minutes ago. I don't think there was much in that.
Jerica from the pocket. Well, this will test him. He's an awkward kick. Interestingly, his big 3 games this season have been on big occasions. We've had huge crowds when this man has fired in his first season. He's the only rookie in the Richmond lineup tonight. He got 5 goals against Essendon. He got 4 against Carlton and Collingwood. Goes for goal and kicks it! There is a lot to like about him, Gerard. We copy him on the good nights, I think, but he's an exciting young player. The Tides in front for the first time tonight.
It's down to earth at the business end of the season on AFL Game Day. Part of 7 Sporting Sunday.
Well, that really was a good kick by Jerica to get the Tigers' 3rd goal. Up high was Schloss, knocking it clear, out towards the wing. Rock, equally as strong at the ball was Bond. Michael Gale recovers his position, tries to get it to Campbell. Anthony Rock has started pretty well. In all sorts of trouble there is Blakey, but the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt and will bounce on centre wing. And Paul Broderick asks the question of his ex-Fitzroy teammate there. Not much that John Blakey could do, Gerard.
No, the ball pinned to him. Great tackle.
Oh, that's one of the features now of Australian rules football. He finds a ticky touch with free kick out of that. And it will go to North Melbourne to be taken by Anthony Rock. Very important that Rock and Scott contribute in any of North Melbourne's finals matches. Oh, down goes Bond, but he's able to get it to Tape. Tape goes along the wing, fairly from behind. And that wasn't a bad choice there, because Schwass would have been in all sorts of trouble. Campbell smothered the kick. Anderson's hand pass wide. Schwass has been a very, very effective contributor so far. His kick, he's dumped after he kicks the ball. No free kick, a push out, and the free kick in the marking contest will go to Callaway, who has been one of Richmond's better players in season 1995.
I think the move on to Schwass is a good one for North Melbourne, because Campbell, the move of Schwass onto Campbell, I should say, because Campbell will still get kicks with a tagger, whereas Schwass perhaps not.
Smith to King. King at half-back, gets it to centre half-forward. Carey and Bullis. Bond important early. Little give was a beauty. Knights' handball was a sweeper. Now Bauer's got to use some back turning. Handball by Rogers over the top to Knights. Richmond are looking good after they were shell-shocked early. Taken again by Knights. The give over the top. Bit slow Charles. Swings around. Gets it to centre half-forward. They need a good bounce. Maxfield takes it beautifully. Kicks it very, very well to the goal square. Gale sets himself. Ball goes through from behind. And don't you feel, Jerry, that the momentum has switched? Richmond have settled and are right back in business now.
They just seem to have a few more options through the middle of the ground. Campbell's also been an important player, as has his opponent Schwass, but Broderick starting to get some touches. Bauer starting to get into the game.
I don't think they were out of business, Bruce, were they? Too early, isn't it? This is Rock at half-back for North Melbourne. He's kicking towards the centre of the ground. It's punched away by Callaway. The ball spills to the ground. Bauer, but he's outnumbered. Through comes Armstrong. Armstrong's kick in towards centre half-forward. Oh, that was a poor kick, really.
Well, they've actually had 3 poor kicks this quarter, North Melbourne, that perhaps was the reason that the momentum has swung.
Well, there's a loose player in the middle of the ground. It's Broderick. Broderick kicks in towards the forward pocket. Naish in front. Handball. Leaving it behind was Daffy. Anderson dragged down by Maxfield. Under pressure, North Melbourne's forward line. Charles tries to get it clear. Well done. Daffy interferes with Laidley. Play goes on. Running away with the football is King. A good kick too under the circumstances. He finds Freeborn, who's just come onto the ground. Started on the interchange bench. Just a little undecided, but then kicks it high towards the 50-metre line. McKernan went with the flight of the ball, then recovered. Couldn't get his kick away. Callaway was the tackler. Out comes Longmire. Into the path of Carey. Put down your glasses. He was at the post. You wouldn't believe it. He was 3 metres from goal, and he tried a reverse punt kick, check side, whatever you like to call it, and it slammed into the woodwork.
Campbell short to Turner. So the captain misses a sitter. 3-3 to 3-2. Turner keeps it low. Good kick to Gale. First mark for Brendan Gale.
It's almost a hush of disbelief just coming across the ground after that one.
Gale's kick not so good. McKernan one hand. Robert Scott centering kick okay for Allison. Front spot good. Greg Deere. Rogers held up all right with Archer. Bond always seems to hold up. King's handball very good. Allison caught. Free kick though. Rogers was all over him. It's got to come back.
Well, good work by Allison to pick up that position, but I just don't think it should be any position of flying for the ball with Wayne Carey. There you see the reason for the free kick. Allison, of course, should be just scouting that pack, picking up the loose ball.
McKernan, Schwass! Schwass not paid. Play on. Schwass again. Left-hand handball of beauty. Armstrong run down.
Tackling unbelievable.
Yeah, Richmond are good in that area. Knights to Rogers. Rogers runs his measure. Kicks to half forward. Not a great kick. Martin and Jerica. Martin in the front spot. Now for Rock. Handball on the up was a beauty. Fairly running away. Goes to the left. Pressure's unbelievable here. Scott tries the half volley. Then a little gift to Anderson. Anderson's handball. Good take Armstrong. Big Mickey Martin. Wobbles one to the goal square. Longmire sets himself with Turner. Anderson's right down there. Campbell to try and come away. Can't. Longmire held on to. No free kick. Out of play. I'll take a breath, Robbo.
Oh, dear. That was sensational football. High pressure stuff provided by both sides. Now, this is Schwass.
Well,
don't believe it. You wouldn't want to have a look at that, I wouldn't think, the umpire officiating. Brendan Gale, it goes straight through him. Maxfield off the ground. Richmond have got the player in front. It's Chris Naish, and he sweeps around onto his right foot and kicks it towards full forward. Jurika's in front. Martin's all over the top of him. No free kick. Play goes on. Maxfield knocks it back. Charles breaks the tackle. Get the handball away. Big Justin. No, he left foot kick is smothered. Anderson looking composed. Looks as though he's played 200. Not about 30. North Melbourne have got the football. It's fairly kicking towards the centre of the ground. It's knocked away. Through goes Greg Deere. They're desperate. They have got eyes only for the football, these players. As you can see, 3 or 4 of them going at it. And that's a pretty good sign by the Tigers. The umpire has decided on a ball up. It's not far away from the centre circle. North Melbourne with 22 handballs to 12. Greg Deere gets it down. Broderick going nowhere. Neither was Armstrong. Rogers to Campbell. Campbell looks to give it off, but then goes long and very direct. At the back, Jurika. Where are the crumb gatherers? Ross Smith under pressure. Gets a left foot kick away. To the 50-metre line. The mark is taken by Freeborn.
Comes on short to centre wing. Measured it well to Blakey. Runs away from Gale. Kicks to centre half forward. Getting onto it, Carey. Trying to half volley. Broderick and Carey. They had to go off the grab. Clever by Bond. Taken by no, fairly dropped it. Left-hand handball okay. Laidley's left footer wide. This will be interesting. Schwass and Rogers. And now Michael Gale gets away from Schwass. Takes him on with a bounce. Round the corner, right foot. Jurika versus Martin in the pocket, out of play. What an inspiring opening this has been by both clubs. It's been breathtaking early. Richmond 3-3. 3-2 North.
And Ellison just coming off the ground, being replaced by the big fridge, Mark Roberts. And what a start of the game Ian Fairley's had.
Daffy on the left foot. Sprays it a bit, and it's a behind. Daffy with a goal early. Richmond 3-4. North Melbourne 3-2. Nick Daffy with 41 goals, the leading goal scorer in Tigerland this year. There's Allison sitting it out with Craig Scholl by the look of it, as Smith to come back in.
Ross Smith goes very short. Fairley's had 8 possessions. Martin not tackled there by Chris Nash, able to get it away to Robert Scott. Handball close to the line, Freeborn. North Melbourne did well. Ross Smith was on the end of that hand pass. Kicks it out towards the wing. The Tigers will outnumber here. Getting back is Matthew Knights. Lovely kick by Knights. He's measured it and found Nash. Nash is too far out to score. He's going to be kicking from about 80 metres. He will kick to the front of the goals. Contest back there. Jurika gets his left foot to it, but Laidley is back there for North Melbourne. He can tidy up, run across the goal square. One bounce gives him the chance to size up the situation and go short to Armstrong.
Armstrong at half-back. Left foot, good, strong kick. Rogers and Schwass. Schwass tries to hurdle him. Bond gets in there with Schwass and Rogers. They hold it up. A couple of goers there. Schwass and Bond as they pick themselves up. 3-2 North. 3-4 Richmond. Longmire with a couple of goals. Chris Bradshaw, the doctor, out there with Greg Deere. Looks to be okay. Deere's been very good for Richmond, but it's had to come off the ground a few times. Handball by Scott out wide for Rock. Tape's got him. Play on called. Michael Gale, free kick. Centre half back. He's settled well, Michael Gale. Out wide to Bond. And there's the siren. Outstanding quarter. Richmond lead by 2 points after North got the first couple and led 3-1. Longmire with 2 early goals. McKernan in the ruck. It's 3-4, 3-2.
And a great performance by both Anderson and Fairley across the half-back line for North Melbourne. They stood up when they were under siege there 10 minutes into that first quarter. But just reiterating what I was saying earlier in the piece, Richmond, just their tackling and their run in numbers do seem to present themselves with more options and a little bit more presence across the midfield. Wayne Campbell and Swass are both getting plenty of the football. There's young Jurika. He'll be happy to get his first goal in finals football. And Ross Smith, of course, is going to have his hands full with Chris Nash, who is a renowned goal kicker. Lots and lots would be going through Dennis Pagan's mind, but he'd be pretty happy with the start, considering the last 2 starts they've had against the Tigers this season.
Ross Smith being patched up as we leave you at quarter time with Richmond 22 to North 20.
There's plenty of pace at Bathurst, and Channel 7 will be there at every turn. Coming soon.
Second quarter of the the first of 4 finals in Melbourne this weekend. Richmond by 2 points. They go to the right of screen. McKernan went early, got his hand on the football. Out of the centre, Rock couldn't get a kick away. Allison went to ground, got it out to Scott. Scott's kicked the centre half forward. Good, courageous Mark Tape. He started running his first final. There are 18 Tigers out there playing their first final tonight. Away comes Bond at half back, kicks to centre wing. Brendan Gale, good take against Fairley. Left-hand handball okay. Campbell had 6 kicks in the first quarter. Wasted a couple of them though. Kicks to centre half forward. Charles almost, yes. Not paid.
A good decision there from the umpire. I think the North Melbourne guy, Ross Smith, may have just got the second grab.
So maybe Charles had 3rd and 4th, but he had a lot of the football, didn't he?
He certainly got the first one.
Gee.
And maybe he had it all.
Had a fair bit.
Well, I thought the first time round it was a pretty ordinary decision.
Inside 50 for Richmond. Gale and Fairley. Ross Smith comes through. Ian Fairley wobbles one to centre wing off real floater. McKernan and Deere. King on the left. Just squeezes 15 metres out of it. And it's going to be one of those nights. Territory's going to be hard to gain. David King has played a couple of finals going in. This throw in right in front of the commentary position for 7 Sport.
Carey, 2 kicks and 1 handball, 2 behind so far in the game, being attended to by Bullis. Campbell gets it forward, but North Melbourne's defence is standing up so far. Fairley gets it back, but only as far as Michael Gale. Nicely weighted little kick there to Daffy. Laidley was just a split second late. Daffy able to take the mark. Daffy's kicked a goal for the Tigers. His kick will land in front of the goal square. Brendan Gale. Naish! Snapshot by Naish. It's a goal. Gee, he's a worry, isn't he, that Chris Naish for North Melbourne. He's just a terrific little snappy forward pocket player that does get goals.
And full credit to the Big Dipper here. He pinpointed it at quarter time that the Tigers are just getting in the front of the packs a little bit better than their opponents. That's where Nace got his goal from.
So Richmond lead 4-4 to 3-2 early in the second quarter. Ruckman, Greg Deere, and younger, more athletic Corey McKernan. Ball to half forward for North.
Carey, good take.
Playing a very open forward line, North Melbourne.
Kicks it wide, Longmire the target. Couldn't quite hold it, can kick a goal though. Has 2 already, on the left, brings it back, close. He's got it. 3 goals to Longmire. North Melbourne hit back straight away.
Yeah, it's good work there by the Northerners. A very open forward line, and Carey just knowing that Longmire would have space. Pretty good effort there by Knights just to upset Longmire, but this was a great left foot snap. Not a breath out of the Tiger fan club down the back end of the goals there.
Richmond lead by 2 points. 3rd goal to John Longmire. North Melbourne's other goal kicker is John Blakey. Again, the ruckman. Look at that great lead by McKernan. Goes to Blakey, then Anderson. Anderson's kick is long towards half forward. Yes, he is going to be a worry for Richmond. It hasn't quite happened yet, but by gee, there's still a lot of this football match left, and Wayne Carey's going to play a big part in the result.
Well, he was pretty quiet in the first quarter, Robbo, and they went in only 2 points down, so you'd suggest that if he can just put together a couple of his big ones, then the Tigers are going to be in trouble. But, well, you just sense that this game is just going to be like the classic Indian arm wrestle.
Yes, there shouldn't be very much in it, should there? These 2 teams are fairly evenly matched. North Melbourne without one of their keys in Anthony Stevens, but Carey shoots for goal. Low trajectory. Yes, it's got the distance, it's got the accuracy. The captain, Wayne Carey, kicks his first goal. And I guarantee it won't be the last. And North Melbourne snatch back the lead. They lead 5-2 to 4-4.
Young Anderson just continuing on. He's called in the first quarter, I think it was you, Bruce, what poise he was playing with. Brilliant skills, and Wayne Carey, significant contributor to the first 2 goals. Gave one to Longmire and kicked one himself.
North back in front, 5-2-4-4. Kerry with a goal. In the centre square. Armstrong's little give. Bauer tried to get it away. Armstrong again. Schwartz round the body. Bouncing ball. Kerry attacks. Handball of beauty. Scott shrugs the tackle. Goes wider. Blakey kicked the first goal of the match. Lines up. Kicks again. Another one. Blakey's second goal. He got goals last week, Blakey. 6-2 to 4-4. Kerry important at centre-half forward. Again.
And they've won every centre clearance this quarter, North Melbourne. It's been a big factor in turning this game around. Once again, Carey involved. That's 3 for 3. And John Blakey, an excellent goal on his non-preferred foot.
Gee whiz, McKernan, if he can just time his leaps. Rock gets clear. Well done. And he's got it again. Carey has marked about 40 metres out directly in front. And you would wonder what is going on. Anthony Rock in a bit of trouble behind play. He was the one that cleared the centre. He's a tough little cookie, but he looks as though he's in a little bit of strife there.
Might have copped one on the way through. I think Rock made a great effort to get his hand on the ball. And if North continue to get the ball into a forward line so quickly, look out for this bloke.
Carey's kick for goal. Goal umpire does not move. It's a goal. Carey's kicked 2 in about 3 minutes. 3 to Longmire, 2 to Blakey, and all of a sudden, the margin is 16 points in favour of North Melbourne.
Well, just a nullification tactic there by McKernan, jumping early. Ball ended up hitting the ground. Carey once again in front. Great effort to Rock, who's clearing out of the centre as a treat.
Carey's now kicked 300 goals in his career. 7-2 to 4-4. North Melbourne are on fire. Laidley again to centre half forward again. Carey. He's just slaughtering them. Out wide. Blakey's got it. North have kicked 4 goals in 3 minutes, and Carey has played a role in each of them. This might be 5 in 4 minutes. Well, just how long do you leave Bullis there, Jared?
Well, I don't think the problem's with Bullis. It's more the midfield. Richmond has just fallen completely away, and North Melbourne have got right on top. Blakey's played on Rodgers for the entire game, and he's now shooting for his 3rd goal, so there's a problem with that matchup.
From 50. Just a push. So Blakey important up forward here. And Whitney about to come on, hasn't played since breaking his ankle in round number 9. They're in trouble here, Richmond. They've got to steady the ship. Deer, play on, gives it to Kellaway.
Little push out, but let go by the umpire. Richmond must get the next goal. Matthew Knights, he's kicked towards half forward. It spills to the back. Geester gets the hand pass back to Ross Smith. Ross Smith's kick is wide to a vacant area close to the wing. Schwartz can't quite keep it in. And the boundary umpire will throw it in. Wayne Schwartz has a little chuckle. And centre breaks in this quarter so far. Look at North Melbourne, 4-0. Knights, Kellaway, Campbell. He's been an important player, so he must play well in the finals if Richmond are to have any chance, Wayne Campbell. He's kicked towards the 50-metre line. Mickey Martin comes out, and he's been awarded the mark. And Wayne Schwartz would have a look and ask the question. Justin Charles would have a look and ask the question. Mickey Martin's mark was paid. Blakey, handball over the top. Ross Smith is between half-back and wing. He runs nearly to the centre of the ground. He kicks in the direction of Carey. He was 3rd in line, couldn't take the mark. Underneath all that is Knights. He can't break away, and the umpire will bounce just into North Melbourne's forward half by a matter of only 6 or 7 metres. Big Mike Green, one of the absolute superstars at Richmond on the left, and Francis Burke, a 300-game player whose son, David, is presently with the Tigers. Away goes Tate from half-back. His kick is towards half-forward. No one there. Or Geester drops what he should have taken. Naish handball, gives away a bit of ground. Back to Daffy. Daffy's kick across his left shoulder. It'll nearly bounce through for a goal. No, to the wrong side. of that goalpost. Greg Deere comes off, Whitney to come on. Richmond scorer behind when they could have badly done with a goal. 45 plays 29. It's a 16-point margin, and the Tiger fans cheer as Whitney goes towards centre-half back. Bullis is released into the ruck.
Whitney had the job on Carey on the Monday night game and did very well. It's been a long time since he's played at this level. Martin's kick, almost to centre wing. Jurica, a long way from home. Charles doesn't give off the handball. Tate was waiting for it. King can't break the tackle. Handball back, and Laidley happy to see it over. 7-3 North, 4-5 Richmond. It's been a stunning term for North after Richmond got an early goal through Naish.
Swass is just going to the forward line for North Melbourne, being picked up by Tate. Blakey gone onto the ball.
Here's Naish, he's kicked a couple on the left, back to full forward. Can Campbell get to it? He does. Can he keep it in? Can he kick a goal? It's close, he might have got it. No, missed. To behind. Campbell, 3 points. Three behind, score 6-7-3.
Campbell now has Blake as an opponent. Roberts on again for Ellison. They've made that swap a couple of times already tonight.
Stuart Anderson with the football. For North Melbourne, they've kicked 7-3. Richmond are 4-6. Anderson comes to the members' side. Kicks it outside 50, up high Archer. Ball spills now for Charles off the left foot. His kick will land at centre-half forward. The ball spills round quite near Rogers. He couldn't control it. Geister is in there for North Melbourne. And the ball tied up at centre-half forward for Richmond. A long way from home, but in the context of the game, you would think that Richmond need to kick the next goal. North Melbourne have kicked 4 goals so far in this term. Daffy over the top there. Broderick and Armstrong. There's Gary Lyon, an interested onlooker. And I'm sure he'd like to be participating, but the Demons, after last Friday night's game in Brisbane, are out of the 1995 race.
Knight's got a high one from Scott, free kick. Just forward of the centre circle. There's a long kick, Knights. Normally constructive, short. Rogers handball way out wide. Bauer from 50. Inside, Broderick. Should mop it up. Left foot. Misses. They're peppering. 4-7, 7-3. Disappointment from Broderick. He's been kicking a few goals this season. It's on 18. It's his best haul yet in his 8 seasons. Anderson short. Gets the rock. 4-7 to 7-3.
Corey McKernan's just gone down to the goal square for North Melbourne. He's been gone down there with Brendan Gale.
Oh, terrific leap and mark by Bullis. Third in line. He may enjoy his release from centre-half back. Good player, State of Origin player with South Australia. His kick will land at the front of the goals. It's knocked away. Geister, handball, Rock. His kick smothered off the boot. And a boundary throw-in will eventuate about 40 metres around from the Richmond goal. Tigers have kicked 4-7. They've added 1 goal 3 in this quarter. Gerard, Brendan Gale and Corey McKernan. Well, that's an interesting matchup. Now they're going to make a swap.
Bullis now going down onto McKernan.
So
Gale going into the ruck.
Gale, yes, he's their tallest bet, isn't he? Charles is doing the ruck work at the present time. The ball at the back there for Bauer. Robbed by Broderick. That was a one-handed hand pass, and the umpire saw it. Free kick to North Melbourne. And it'll be taken there by Scott. Goes short. Roberts does well. He's been paid the mark. Short again and wide. Mark is taken by Rock. Rock and Scott are doing well. His kick towards half forward. And that mark, what's that for? Being held, was it, by Whitney? Free kickers to Carey. And I'd say that was probably a bit each way too. Carey kicks from 65 metres. And the mark has been taken by Gale. Gale is across half back. His high kick sets Campbell up from the back. King punched away, taken by McKernan. Unguarded goal. Ball just swings away at the last minute. There is not much breeze, although the flags on top of the main scoreboard are blowing reasonably fiercely, and that kick just taken away by the breeze as Miranda stretches on the boundary line. Maybe he's to come on the ground. Broderick takes the kick in. Hand pass, Turner. Turner gets through. Hand pass, Bauer. Back to Broderick. Oh, beautiful sidestep. And short pass finds Whitney. It'll be encouraging for him to get his first touch.
Centre wing the kick. Bullis works to the front. McKernan against him. Tape onto it. Little kick. Gets a few metres. Archer with him out of play between centre wing and half forward. Good play by Tape to force it forward. Archer to put pressure on. So after a burst of goals early, suddenly a stalemate. Important part of the game, you feel. The tap by Gale, missing it. Scott's kick, smothered. Gale, Michael, back to Campbell in trouble. Ripped away from it. Scott gets it back to Stuart Anderson. Anderson on the left foot. Carey the targets, having a big quarter. Well played, Whitney. Archer on the left foot, hooks it back cleverly to centre half forward. Longmire, Kellaway, little give. He has to chase it again. Armstrong, back to Knights, to Turner. Turner, well, he'll be in trouble. Gone. Bounced it, was always in trouble. Longmire's got Carey in the pocket. Didn't see him. He'll bang it down there. Carey's marking everything at the moment, and he does it again. He's too good.
5 marks.
He's turning them inside out, isn't he, the King?
Well, that was always going to be a danger if Longmire was prepared to kick the ball down quickly. The North Melbourne players had to jump on their Richmond opponents.
Well, they've got 5 goals out of their 2 key forwards. Maxfield off, Miranda on. Carey's kicked 2. Longmire's kicked 3. Carey has kicked his 3rd. He is the game breaker, isn't he, Gerard? In this competition, he can turn a game around, and he's done it tonight. 8-4-4-7.
Ablett, Carlton, knee injuries and EJ. They will influence the footy. And a part of That Was the Season That Was, coming soon on 7.
Carey 9 kicks, 2 handballs, 5 marks, and he's kicked 3 goals. And he's had 7 kicks so far in this second term. Miranda's kick is wide to left half forward. Gale trying to shepherd for Daffy. Ball kick there was indiscriminate. Fairley does well. Anderson does it equally as well. Freeborn gets it to Schwass. Schwass only as far as Roberts. Well done, Bauer, to hold them up. Schwass and Knights go at it, and the umpire will decide on a bounce. It's pretty fierce out there, and kicks in close are hard to come by. Wayne Schwass, one of the real stars of our game. Campbell, number 9, in the foreground. Roberts does the ruck work, tries to get it to Freeborn, taken by Knights. He was on his wrong foot, so he did well to get it to Rogers. Rogers' kick across his left shoulder, lands within scoring distance for Richmond. The ball bounces and bounces, close to the line, eventually over. And Ian Fairley wouldn't be too disappointed. Gives it up to the boundary umpire, Chris Naish. And the 3AW boys, Rex Hunt and Barras as a guest commentator. Gee, still looks as fierce and as intense as a coach.
Campbell over the back, Broderick. Campbell, Miranda. Doesn't go far. Well, good snap. Great snap by Daffy. It's a goal. What a wonderful bit of improvisation from Daffy. And boy, was it needed. 5-7 to 8-4.
Yeah, both sides now with only 3 goal kickers apiece. Daffy's now got his 2nd. Nation's got 2, so they're getting a couple off the deck, and only one goal, Richmond, from their key attacking people, with Stephen Jurica getting one in the first quarter.
So Richmond get their 5th goal. They're still trailed by 15 points. Campbell kicks it forward. It'll land at centre half forward. Punched away. Laidley finds a little bit of space to squeeze a kick, only as far as Tate. He's doing exceptionally well for the Tigers. His kick finds Gale. Gale could go short. Can he get past? Yes. Handball. finds Rogers. Rogers was the initiator in the last forward thrust. The ball lands at full forward. Picked up by Ross Smith. He runs across the full forward area and then kicks it wide out towards half-back on the far side. Bond does well from behind Blakey. Looks as though Blakey may be Bond's opponent at this stage. Chris Bond for Richmond. He's been called to play on. Now his kick in towards full forward. Brendan Gale from behind. Gatherers by Broderick, dragged to the ground, kicked away by McKernan, dropped by Callaway, slipping over was Charles. His kick, still in the full forward area for Richmond, Brendan Gale and Ian Fairley. Chris Naish sweeps the handball, Daffy again, left foot kick, drops at the square, goes back towards half forward. Bond is in trouble, can't get past. Look at the North Melbourne players just scrambling and scratching and biting and trying to stop Richmond getting their 6th goal, and the Tigers are held up at half forward.
Geister off for Dwyer, who's played the last 3 games of the season only for North Melbourne.
Rain falling. Bullis, Campbell in the pocket, left foot, pretty good. Gale, King, Miranda. Gee, getting in his road, I thought was Brendan Gale. Or was it young Jerica? It might have been. Miranda had a fair bit of it, and Jerica tried to snatch it away. You can't blame a guy for going at the footy 100%.
Not a bad sign, though, if they're as keen as that. They'll eventually get it right.
A couple of 19-year-olds going out at the footy. No wonder something has to give. Broderick trying to get it through. North holding it up. Naish and Daffy might be dangerous in this situation. Off the ground, out of play by King.
Interesting comparison between the 2 forward lines with Wayne Carey and John Longmire, their key tall offenders, North Melbourne, contributing 5 goals.
6.
6, in fact.
Yeah. And the small men for Richmond, Gerard getting the goals, Nation and Daffy, as they've done all year. They're their 2 leading goal scorers for the season. So a big contrast there, isn't there?
Campbell with 3 behinds too has been a contributor for Richmond, just not kicking accurately.
Here's Gale, back to Campbell, back to Gale, little left footer, good. Well played to his brother, Brendan Gale.
I think this is the guy that they've got to get into the game. Obviously, he's going to be dependent upon getting some flow from the middle. But when Brendan Gale fires, Richmond fire. The whole John Northey game plan revolves around getting the ball long and quickly to the key tall players in the forward line. And if one of them takes a grab or two, it just puts so much pressure on the opposition.
And the other important thing is that they must convert. They've missed a couple of what you would call straightforward shots at goal, Richmond so far.
Rain steadily coming down. Gales kicks a good one. He's got it. Well, they're right back now, Jude. They've tightened the screws again, haven't they?
Oh, well, both sides are never say die teams, and they've shown that throughout the season. They've both had some patches where they've lost consecutive games, in particular North Melbourne. They've had a couple of spells where their confidence was looked to be shot, but they've just clawed their way back. This is what the Tigers are doing once again. Under pressure 5 minutes ago, now back in touch.
Well, again, an important kick, and we're not even up to half-time. We've got 4 minutes left, and Brendan Gale kicks Richmond's 6th goal. Bullis is in the ruck, up against McKernan. He gets it away from there, couldn't quite kick effectively, though. Going back was Rogers, taken away by Tate. He's a good player, isn't he? Jamie Tate sets it up for Miranda, and Miranda's grab was inspiring stuff. Well done from a young man. His kick towards full forward. Oh, great grab by Naish. Rob Smith hangs his head in dismay. And Naish, if he kicks this goal, it's back to a 3-point game.
Well, I was just about to question the intelligence of this kick, kicking it to the smallest man on the ground, but he marked that one like Wayne Carey.
He's a good mark for a small player, Chris Naish. He's got good hands. By G loves kicking a goal too. He goes in for his 3rd. It's there. Naish's 3rd goal. He becomes the equal leading goal scorer on the ground with Carey and Longmire. And is there much excitement in that Richmond coach's box? Perhaps not quite as much as in the crowd.
Smart kick, but an even smarter mark there by Miranda, who's actually had an impact since coming off the bench only 5 minutes ago. And Naish really having a great day, a great evening.
The game rises to new heights again. 7-7, 8-4. Richmond with the last 3 goals of the game after North kicked 4 in a row. Tate drops it down. No free kick against him. Justin Charles on one leg. Effective to Bullis. The Tigers have got the force with them for the moment. Naish wants it long and wide. Bullis goes in the other direction. They set. Couldn't take it, Eureka. Brendan going to kick his second. Misses. 7-8 to 8-4. It's been one of those nights where a team has rattled on 2 or 3 in a hurry. Look at Brendan Gale's reaction here with the miss. Interchange coming up. Scholl coming on. It's like Blakey off. McKernan providing a lead, going short. Anderson gets to Martin.
Mickey Martin is still in the 50-metre zone, which favours the Tigers. This kick will land at half-back. Punched away by Callaway. Campbell, she's had a fair bit of the football. Callaway's into it again. Daffy dragged down by King. It was a pretty good tackle, tied him up, and the umpire will bounce at half forward for Richmond. Campbell, 14 possessions. A lot of his kicks have been under pressure, but a couple of sneaky little hand passes. He's had 3 of them, and they've been quite creative. 55 metres from the Richmond goal. King hacks it out of the contest. Daffy only as far as King. King's kick smothered by Tate, but spills over for a boundary throw-in. One of the key players early in the game, Wayne Schwass, 6 kicks and 4 handballs, has been a little quiet in this second term. He's at the back of the pack, being matched up at the moment. There he is over the top there, bashing it clear for another throw-in as Allison comes onto the ground at the expense of Armstrong for North Melbourne.
7-8, 8-4. Blakey out there for North Melbourne. McKernan, Gale, give by Archer, not to anybody, but gets back. Kellaway tries to hold him up. Archer goes to ground. Robert Scott there, he's held up. Good tackle by Kellaway, as he's done so often this season. And it's going to be a bounce. 7-8, 8-4. It's been good, Kellaway. Played for Victoria this year in one of the best teams you'll ever see. Here's Campbell, as Robbo said, getting plenty of the footy. He's kicked 3 points. Could he kick this? He could have gone on a bit longer. Then spoils it with a poor kick to the pocket. A bouncing ball. Eureka had an airy out of play. Campbell actually had another 15 or 20 metres. Could have gone on. It was a breathtaking run. Eureka kicked the goal from the pocket in the first quarter. 8-4, 7-8. Deep into the second term. Blakey's little kick. Rock underneath it. Takes the mark at centre half back. Goes on quickly and gets it to McKernan.
And McKernan, with a little bit of space, gets the kick in the direction of half forward. Good mark. Carey. Get it near him and he's a threat. His kick, very good out in front of Longmire. Turner, perhaps he could have made the ground. Handballs it to himself. Then, because he re-grasped it, he's been deemed as throwing it in the air. And that second punch, or the attempted punch away, certainly was, as the umpire saw it. Broderick kicks across the half-back line. Whitney running off Carey. Kick into the middle of the ground. Watch this. Matthew Knights doesn't mind delivering a football. Kicks towards full forward. At the back, Miranda. Can he get to it? He can. Little hand pass. And the snapshot is offline by Naish. The last score of the quarter is a behind kick by Chris Naish. So the margin at half-time, Chris Naish has kicked the behind, is 1 point. North Melbourne 8-4, Richmond 7-9. Mickey Martin getting involved. And some protesting there over a decision. What would Mickey Martin be going ape like that?
I think they're arguing about whether that point should count or not, Robbo. Doesn't seem to be any query in it to me, but perhaps there's something else on their mind.
Mickey Martin expected a free kick there for the umpire. Not coming, but the point has certainly been registered. And there's only a point the difference at half-time. Richmond 7-9, North 8-4. North got away to lead by about 22 points at one stage in that quarter. But Richmond have clawed their way back in after they had wrested the initiative from North Melbourne and led 5-2 to 3-4 at one stage. Now let's have a look at this from the reverse angle. Mickey Martin saying that he was over the shoulder against Chirica, and that
wasn't much in it, was it?
No, and then Mickey gave young Stephen a bit to go on with when they went down. But at half-time, it's 7-9 to 8-4.
The Bears have created history. The need to conquer the mighty Blues to continue. Their chance comes Sunday, and 7 Sport will be there.
Both the teams are out. There's North Melbourne and Richmond after a magnificent first half of football. John Northey starting to really rain now as we go down, as Dennis Pagan also leaves the arena. And a dipper on the boundary line. What a half, Dipper.
A terrific half, Bruce, and that's what finals is all about. It gives players the opportunity to put their hand up, and I know well, the coaches would have said that before the game, and players like Wayne Campbell playing terrific football, Nick Daffy, of course Brendan Gale came into that quarter then, and Wayne Carey, what more can you say? I think you summed that up in your call there, but once again, we said this all year, an important start for, in the next 5 or 10 minutes of the third quarter, a very important quarter for both sides.
Thanks for that, Dipper, who played in that long run of grand finals and final series with Hawthorn.
He looks warm down there, doesn't he?
Well, it's bitterly cold now and wet conditions, but this game has had the lot in the first half. Tiger supporters left, right and centre, and Tony's not so silly dressing up like that tonight.
Wet conditions, who do you think that would favour? Maybe the Tigers? Carey with his high marking certainly looked as though he's going to be a threat in that second term.
Oh, I'm not sure if it's a big factor tonight.
Line ball?
Yeah, pretty much.
So much for both to play for. North Melbourne in a more vulnerable position, though, having finished 6th on the ladder and Richmond 3rd. Just lose tonight, and, gee, the consequences on the weekend could be exit for the year. Start of the second half. The first of 4 finals. 7-9 to 8-4, Richmond and North Melbourne. North go to the right of screen. McKernan goes with Bullis, wins the tap. Archer, Campbell were at the footy. Was that Kellaway it was, trying to get it clear. Steady rain falling here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Young man, Kellaway, what a year he's had. Darren Goldsmith, Greg Scroop, Grant Vernon, the umpires. In the centre, Broderick's give good. Campbell, yet another kick. Almost at 50, good mark by Brendan Gale, who really lifted in the second part of the second quarter. He's got the gloves on, Gale. He's about 60 metres out. Well, he's going to take fairly on. Didn't do it very well. Made a bit of a mess of it. North with a chance. Scoop through the legs from Blakey. Little give okay from Scott, but pressure on Fairley. Anderson back to Scott. Scott was pretty good in the first half. Roberts' handball under pressure went nowhere. That's out, close to on the fall. It is on the fall. So bad luck there. And the free kick going to... Is it going to Richmond or is it going to North? Now, it's going to go to Richmond.
Just going back to the Ian Fairley incident, it was terrific the way he kept his feet manning the mark. When Gale tried to run around, he wasn't airborne, so he could duck back. Gee,
those little kicks that go over the boundary line on the fuller, they can be important. Blakey tackled by Brendan Gale. And the kick by Ian Fairley smothered off the boot by Miranda. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Bit of a dust-up in the goal square between Martin and Jurica. Couple of raw-boned characters back there. Kicked out there by Armstrong. The mark is taken by McKernan. Probably covered about 11 metres, but was awarded. McKernan's kick, tape. Nearly taken by Carey. Archer gets it back to Carey. Tackled by Kellaway. Gets the kick away. Ball spills in front of Scott. Taken by Tape. Tackled by Archer. Terrific stuff by both sides. You're in trouble, Matthew Knights, but he gets it to Kellaway. Bumped off the football there by Anthony Rock. And some terrific footy. Just close-in stuff by both sides at the start of the second half.
Bullis, McKernan gets his hand on it. Broderick sort of cut it off. Bow with a chance, hard ball to take. Did all right, actually. Little kick not far enough. Laidley round the body. Back to centre wing. Michael Gale flew. Had a second go. Courage personified. Free kick against Archer. Gale at half-back. Had Bond very short. Decides to go longer to centre wing. Can Brendan Gale get into the picture? Free kick to Blakey. Bit unlucky, Brendan Gale. Blakey drifted back on him. Gale going for the footy, but to get him over the shoulder. Blakey at centre wing. Centering kick to Carey. What a first half he had. Wigney couldn't quite mark it. Kellaway went to ground. Ball underneath him for a while. Wigney can't quite get through. Slippery ball. Broderick tries to get it out. And umpire now takes it. North Melbourne are 8-4. Richmond are 7-9. The North Melbourne bench. Goals may be very hard to get in this second half with the slippery footy. Bullis to go.
McKernan's tapped down. Charles, tackled by Archer. Archer is one of the real good tacklers in that North Melbourne side. Armstrong squeezes a kick. No mark. It was called play on. Gale nearly lost his shorts, but went right on with it. He was focused. Brendan Gale tapped back into the path of his brother. He went after it. In goes Knights. He's tackled. Well done, Robert Scott. Just held him up. Geister's kick smothered off the boot. Down goes Miranda. Schwass is in there. He may have got a rocket at half-time. The second part of his second quarter was ordinary by Schwass standards, and so was that kick. And it's out of bounds on centre wing.
Not many options up forward there for Wayne Schwass, so perhaps just going for the safety there, Robert.
Nothing happened on the scoreboard so far in the third quarter. Kick forward by Rock. Punched away. McKernan held up. Jamie Tate close to the line. Kept in by Archer. Tate, handball. Oh, you're in all sorts of strife, Duncan Kellaway. The tackle was too high, but the fierceness of that by McKernan was exceptional.
Well, I hope he didn't have his nose straight during the week because they need to be redone.
Kellaway's kick from right half-back. Geister couldn't take the mark. Still in there with a chance. Daffy gets it away. Broderick, it is for Richmond. He has a look and he kicks it to a vacant half-forward area. Just out of reach there of Ross Smith. He goes back to gather, then gets the handball into the path of Anderson. Anderson looks good. His kick is not bad. It finds Roberts. Roberts is at right half-back. He kicks in towards the centre of the ground. It goes beyond Allison. Coming in to tidy up is Kellaway. He's got fierce desire written all over his face. He kicks to the wing. Down goes Roberts. Well done, Charles. He's a bit slow, just a little bit slow. Roberts able to just knock him off the ball. Lately comes away for the Kangaroos. He's kicked to centre half forward. No one home. Up high was Tate. Up goes Carey. McKernan's handball. In there was Rogers. Some desperate stuff at half forward. Archer's locked up by Rogers. And the umpire will come in and bounce 50 metres from the North Melbourne goal.
McKernan's about the fourth player this evening that slipped in that re-sodded area. Grass just a lot lusher in those areas.
Just saw Maxfield and Prescott looking on. Carey's tap. Michael Gale, hip and shoulder, okay, Schwass. Richmond with numbers. Broderick sweeps it wide. Wigney now gets it cleanly. Good shepherding by Bauer. Wigney's kicked low. Wants Brendan Gale. Fairley with him. Well done by Fairley. Gale holds it up. Anderson tucks it in. It's going to be a bounce centre wing. Still not a score. Rain coming down. Richmond third on the ladder going in with 15.5 wins. North Melbourne sixth with 14 wins. Allison off. Dwyer on. He's been quiet, Allison. Not many touches. North by the slimmest margin. Just a couple of touches for Allison. Kick around the body by Armstrong. Tape's got a good tackle on. Blakey round the corner. Kicks hard to get. McKernan, Bullis. Scott through his fingers. Out of play.
Was a bit stiff, don't you think, Bruce? Then Bullis all over the top of him.
He agrees with you, Robbo.
Oh, he's giving the umpire a mouthful too.
McKernan and Bullis. Half forward left for North Melbourne. Carey's got 3 goals. Longmire 3. Daffy and Naish have got 5 between them. Armstrong's kick. Kellaway underneath. Gets it. He's been very good in this quarter, Kellaway. He did get that nose readjusted, Jarrett, on Monday. Knights' kick out wide. Charles should move it quickly. He does on the left foot now. Okay to Tape inboard. Tape's little kick looks okay off the boot. It was a beauty to Naish. Plays on quickly to full forward. Jurika Martin at the back, bouncing footy. Geister gets hold of it on the left foot, goes wide. He's got a bit of power, Geister. Look at that kick. The swash, it was a beauty. He's got it, half back.
Certainly was a good kick by young Geister. Schwass, well, he was trying to play on. Now the umpire asked him to come back and kick over the man on the mark.
He started the quarter on the wing, Wayne Schwass, then picked up by Rogers. Had a very good first quarter. Good start to the second. Just drifted out a little bit. Was shifted to the forward pocket, though.
Ooh, Laidley down, bearing on him was Chris Bond. There's no place for a faint heart. The umpire's found a free kick. Is it off Bond's foot? Yes. And they both had a go at it, Laidley and Bond. The kick forward, nearly taken by McKernan. Scott going nowhere. Blakey in a bit of strife. Kick forward by Archer. It's close to the line. Dwyer, handball, misses Carey. Whitney is there for Richmond, and he comes away with the football. Maybe been a little fortunate. A drop short, Geister is marked. Away to Schwass. He loves to get back onto his left foot. He's forced to give the hand pass away. King is quick and shrugs the tackle. Kicks it down the wing. And the mark is taken by Anderson. He's covered some territory. Handball in towards the centre of the ground. Rock goes back to Anderson. Is there enough room? Rock, by gee, it's hot, that footy. Rock kicks towards half forward. Whitney does well because he gets it down to Knights. He was in trouble and he got it to the captain, the acting captain for the Tigers at this stage. Kick forward. Gale couldn't take it. It was at his feet. Jurica tries to get it forward to Daffy. Daffy gets around onto his right foot. He's going to be dragged down. A free kick, though. It was nearly taken away by Daffy, but the free kick will come back and will be taken by Stephen Jurica at the half-forward area for Richmond, and he's about 55 metres from goal. He has kicked one goal, and the replay shows that Laidley just hanging on for longer than really was necessary, and then eventually dumped the big Richmond forward. Jurica's kick. He gets good ground. It lands at the front of the square. The mark is taken beautifully by Brendan Gale in front of Ian Fairley. Well, he was always going to be a key, big Brendan Gale.
This is exactly what he's paid to do. Pull down the big mark when it counts most. Third quarter was often termed the premiership quarter, and marks like this are just so vital because obviously there's a goal to be kicked here, but it just starts to stamp his authority on the game, and players around him grow in confidence. He attracts more ball.
Who called it the arm wrestle earlier in the game? Was it you, Bruce, or Jared? No score so far in the third term. Brendan Gale will break the deadlock and gets a goal for Richmond. Gale's second goal. That's Brendan Gale's second goal. And Richmond have the lead by 5 points.
The Sports World Footy Panel is focused on the finals. Sunday morning with 7 Sport.
Is back in front. Their 4 goal scorers tonight have been their 4 leading goal scorers for the year. Daffy, Nash, Gale, Jurica. Out of the centre, Broderick. Gale went to ground. Campbell at 45. Round the body to full forward. Nash there. Punched away at the back by Smith. Out of play. Richmond fans excited. So's the coaching staff. John Northey, who had Melbourne 5 years in the final in 7, have taken the Tigers back to the final for the first time since '82. Good tap, Jurica. Daffy put the pressure on. Out of play. Right forward pocket. 5-point game. There's been not much in it all night. Dennis Pagan. Rodney Eade look on. Gale and Fairley. Still the rain comes down. Huge crowd here tonight. Campbell goes for it. Laidley. Quick kick back to the centre. Tate has been superb. In front of Archer. He's played a beauty, Tate. Bauer and King, not a good kick, Tate. They could suffer here. King's give to Rock. Rock straightens the body now. Carey the target. Whitney with him. The King's got his 4th. Look at him go for it. He's got it. The Kangas are back in front. Carey with a 4th goal.
Exciting passage of play from North Melbourne, just bringing the ball off the half-back line. Great interception mark there by King. And Rock, who isn't the longest kick in the AFL, just kicked this one to Carey's advantage. Whitney almost spoiled it, but Carey just roved it too well. Archer off, being replaced by Glenn Freeborn.
Carey's kicked 4 of North Melbourne's last 5 goals, and he gave the other one away to Blakey. In the centre now.
Knocked forward by North Melbourne to centre-half forward, Anthony Dwyer. Can't quite grasp it. Not too often you get second chances in desperate finals. Blakey forward. Robert Scott gets onto his left foot, kicks to the square. The mark is taken by Gale. Michael Gale in the back pocket, gets it to Knights. Knights' kick is not all that good for Bullis. Just gave the North Melbourne player the chance to come in and knock it away. Rebounds back to King. King to the square, running in, and Freeborn nearly got it. Tate, not clear by Whitney. The race on now, in the back by Longmire, disallowed. Great contest between 2 players there, which were Rock and Broderick. Kick forward by Armstrong. Gale, he's got it, Michael Gale. Chris Bond, critical fumble, able to kick left foot, down the line, close to the boundary line, still in. King's kick across his body to full forward, knocked away by Whitney. Back towards the line, 50-metre, McKernan, Callaway. Oh, it's desperate stuff. Well done, Bauer. Spotting brilliant. That kick was better for Bullis. Gets onto his right, then kicks towards full forward. You go, Miranda. He didn't. He was too far away from the contest. Smith's kick goes wide. It will stay. No, it won't. Desperate stuff by Charles, not able to grasp the footy. Boundary throw-in. Get back Justin Charles. And big Mickey Dolan, the galloping gasometer, down from Queensland to watch his beloved Kangaroos play a qualifying final. Dwyer gets it out to Armstrong. Armstrong's kick falls at centre-half forward. Anthony Rock's in there. So is Bond. Ball goes to Carey. Off to Freeborn. Make a name for yourself. His kick is offline and through from behind. Kicked by Glenn Freeborn, a rookie for the Kangaroos. They lead by 2 points. Archer anxiously watching as his foot is strapped by one of the trainers.
Turner wide, Campbell the target. Takes it very well. Campbell, kick into the centre. Wigney, good-looking kick to Miranda, got him. That's a good mark again, Miranda. The second very good mark he's taken tonight. He's too far out, sweeps it wide. Bauer over the top. Here's the chance. Rogers should goal. He's got it! Wonderful football by the Tigers.
Yeah, good, intelligent play there by Miranda. Bauer sprinting off the ground. He's going to be replaced by Maxfield. Good time for him to be coming on. Pinch a goal or two there. You see the handballs just resulting in Rogers getting free. Came over as a backman. Is incredibly quick, but isn't embarrassed in front of goals and has done well in the last month.
So Richmond snatched back the lead by 4 points. Ruck contest. Good was Bullis. Leaving it behind was Fairley. Campbell tackled by Scott, and the umpire will have to bounce once again.
Brett Ellison's come onto the ground for North Melbourne. He's gone to full forward, picked up by Chris Bond. John Longmire out on the half-forward line, beside Wayne Carey.
Good bounce. Bullis gets his hand to it again. Campbell's kick forward. All-important bounce. Miranda swoops on it, spins out of trouble. Oh, go Miranda! Left foot snapshot is way offline. Gee, the crowd would have just absolutely roared if he'd have able to just snaffle that. And Bauer.
He's having an impact though, Miranda.
Kicks to himself, does Anderson. And then a short pass has been marked by Blakey.
Running with Campbell at the moment, out wide to Laidley. Back to Scott. On to King. Good handball, actually. Didn't have a lot of room to Dwyer. Dwyer at centre wing. Neat kick to centre half forward. Carey front spot almost. Freeborn at the bottom. Very good give by the Tigers, though. Take to Wigney. Bullis, bit awkward. They have to sit and wait, Rogers. Campbell, 18th kick round the body to centre half forward. Broderick, eyes on it. Good play lately. Taken by Maxfield. Awkward-looking kick on his right. There's an arm wrestle if you've ever seen one. Now fairly away. Doesn't get much distance. Rogers versus Schwass. Rogers has got it at half forward. Not a good kick by Fairley. Put Schwass under the hammer because he was out of position, and then he tried to put Rogers under the hammer, but he couldn't take the footy off him. Rogers starting to become important. Centering kick. Gale sets himself up with one hand at the front with Geister. Laidley's left-hand handball okay. Scott's left-hand handball okay. King went without it. Gets a second go. Got hold of him, Maxfield. Scott's little kick into the centre of the ground. Chance for Scholl, who's just come on. Still with Scholl forever, surely gone. Kellaway's got him at centre. Richmond 19 to 9-5.
Good tackle from Stuart Maxfield. He's a pretty handy player to come off the bench. Just the type, he's only had 2 kicks, but just the type to kick 2 quick goals in a couple of minutes.
Callaway's kick in the direction of Gale. Kick forward by Daffy. Is a free kick or been paid that mark? May have been paid the mark or a little high. The interception on Brendan Gale. He's probably too far at the score. He goes for the pass. It's not bad. Third in line, Charles. Couldn't take the mark. Chris Naish gets the hand pass away. Jurica after the footy. Taps it in front of himself. Then tried to gather. In there was Dwyer. Gets it clear for Martin. Martin's got a little bit of space. Gets the hand pass away to Scholl. Scholl has a look and then kicks. Not really all that well towards the half-forward line. Back goes Tate. Allows it to trundle off his left foot over for a throw-in. Bauer just warming up on the boundary line. And the player to come off looks as though it could be Daffy. Daffy's been a little quiet in this third term. The ball spills back towards the middle of the ground. Through goes Scholl. He's got some space. Kick is very ordinary. Oh, gathered by Carey. Marked down number 4 goals 2. 4 goals 3. Oh, dear me. Shouldn't miss that. And he doesn't believe it, does he? Turner. Margin 4 points in favour of the Tigers.
It's got Rogers wide. That's the way he's going. Allison gets back. Carey's got it. He's having a fantastic game, the champ. Carey's kicked 7 marks tonight to fall forward. Longmire, third in line. McKernan was there with Turner.
It's been good tonight, the horse. A couple of goals early in the piece. Got another one in the second quarter. Looks like he's going to get back on the board here. Jumping from behind. I think he got the assist there from McKernan, but good result for John Longmire.
Carey's got 4. Longmire's got 3. He's got 4 now. It's not a bad return, Jared. 8 goals out of their 2 key forwards. And North Melbourne are back in front.
Yeah, pretty good return, as you say, Bruce. And I'm sure that Wayne Carey will be pretty happy to get this one. He missed one he should have got only a couple of minutes ago. And rather than dropping the head, he went straight back and made amends. Good kick there from Big John.
.66 plays 64. 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter. North Melbourne have got the lead back. Campbell, she's been unstoppable, Campbell. The bounce was a bit awkward, but gathered by Fairley. Off his left foot, only as far as Bond. He plays on quickly. He kicks into the forward pocket region. Good understanding. The call coming from Brendan Gale. And he's taken the mark on his chest about 65 metres from goal. Nice long kick. A little bit underneath it. Ball spills now for Rock. He was tackled by Naish. Naish still after it. Chris Naish. Ross Smith gets in his road. Justin Charles trying to clear the ball for the Tigers. And it's all wrapped up, much to the delight of, I would suggest, both teams' fans, because no players giving any quarter at centre-half back for North Melbourne, centre-half forward for the Tigers, Nick Daffy. An interested onlooker at this stage, sitting on the bench.
Charles and Geister. Armstrong under pressure from Campbell. Out of play. Left forward pocket, Richmond attacking. Goals have been hard to get in this term. Ron Casey and his beloved North Melbourne, former general manager of HSV7. And so long the host of World of Sport. Blakey's kick into the centre square. Chris Bond, good tackle on him. That was by Freeborn. Scott's away. His kick to Longmire's a beauty. It's been all right, Scott, tonight. Longmire about 60. Kick for the big horse. Goes to Carey. He's got him.
Well, Stuart Wickney fell for the two-card trick there with Wayne Carey charging at the goal square. All of a sudden, he threw the brakes on and just came back a little bit. Longmire knew where he was going and already had the ball halfway there when Carey did the duck back. There you can see the 5-yard gap.
4 goals, 3 to Carey. He's played the best captain's game imaginable. In the second quarter, he just turned the whole thing around. From the pocket. Misses 4 goals for. It's a lot of shots at goal. Dennis Pagan looks pretty calm. How tight would the old tummy be? 10-7, 9-10.
Gives the Stimmerol a decent old workout, doesn't he?
So does David Parkin.
Turner to kick in. Beautiful long kick to the middle of the ground. Richmond swoop on it. Broderick's hand pass. Through goes Maxfield. Taken by Bauer. Intercepted by Freeborn. In goes Campbell. Gee, it's hard to get there. Scholl gets it and kicks it hurriedly towards full forward. Turner goes down. Longmire may get his 5th. He can't shrug the tackle. You've got to be penalised. And well done, Jamie Tate. He's been a terrific player in that defence for Richmond. He kicks it across the line and Wickney marks. Schwass, the man on the mark.
Daffy back on the ground. Maxfield off.
Wickney out towards the wing. Brendan Gale in front. Couldn't take the mark. In goes Rogers. Held. Didn't have the football. And is that the way the umpire sees it? I feel as though he's going to give a free kick. Wayne Schwass at present playing on Matthew Rogers. Rogers takes the free kick and kicks the ball towards the wing. It's knocked away from Charles by Gisto. In goes Campbell. Couldn't take the football with him, so the boundary umpire will throw it in.
Well, fortunately for North Melbourne, that went over the line because Paul Bullis was 50 metres clear on the forward line.
Gale and McKernan and Bullis there as well. A couple of Tigers up. Scott on the left. Carey the target. Bond chipped in well. Gee, he had all of that, I felt. I didn't think Wickney got any of it. Called to play on. Got it around the body. Ricochets away from Knights' boot. Bauer goes to ground, has got to get it out. He did. North Melbourne swarm on it with a few numbers. Try and get it out. Scott can't quite get it clear. Allison is at a quiet one. Pushes forward. Carey. Handball on the up, looking for somebody. Kellaway eyes only for the football. Well done. Michael Gale gets a second, now 3rd go. He's got a bit of time. Can measure the kick. North have got the numbers. McKernan, he could nearly kick this. He's a thumping kick. If he times it, he'll get the distance. He is 60 metres out. Oh, well, this won't happen now because he's given it to Robert Scott for a little infringement hanging on. Short to Blakey. Allison off again.
20 possessions to Robert Scott.
He'll be getting giddy. Allison going off the ground. Archer's on. Into the pocket. Not a good kick, that one. It's too wide for Carey. Out of play. Both forward lines are struggling. 10-7 and 9-10. I say struggling. Maxfield looking on. Just struggling to kick goals. The defences are holding up very well. In the last minute, a goal for North here would be nice and handy. Free kick to Carey, is it? It is. Hanging on.
You're a game man, Gungadin, I would say. Huh?
Yep.
Oh, Bruce. I just wonder sometimes, I mean, there's been a lot of critics of the umpiring standards over the last few weeks, and you wonder whether a decision like that is just going to make the difference between a side winning or losing a final.
What about those stats for Carey? 15 kicks again tonight. I think he had 21 the last time they played. He kicked 5 the last time he played against Richmond. He goes for number 5. He's got it. He's nearly been the difference, Jared, between the two teams. He's kicked 5-4, and I reckon every time he's touched the footy, something's happened up for Tony Gill. Going to give us another famous face.
Yeah, he's such a fantastic player. Bit of a give me that free kick, but I guess what goes around comes around.
Well, he did take possession of the ball. What was the Richmond bloke supposed to do? You quite wonder. I'm glad if I know. Anyway, North Melbourne have got the goal. They lead by 9 points, close to a three-quarter time. Probably won't be enough time for either side to score. Big punch from North Melbourne at the centre bounce. Armstrong held up by Bauer. Can't get the kick away. Bond missed it, and the siren ends the quarter. And those boos would come from Richmond fans, you would think. At three-quarter time, North Melbourne lead 11-7-73. Richmond 9-10-64. North by 9 points. And their captain has kicked 5 goals. Longmire has kicked 4. Blakey 2. So all North's goals coming from just 3 players. And for Richmond, 3 goals to Naish, 2 each to Daffy and Gale.
Matthew Knight's obviously, as acting captain, has the right to go over and question the umpires, and I'm sure he would have been incensed by that easy goal to Wayne Carey. But he's got more than 1 goal on his mind. I'm sure he'll be out there trying to inspire his side, because they certainly need a big last quarter. And John Northey, not sure exactly what he's saying to Matthew Knights, but it didn't look all that complimentary.
He's fuming at the moment, Northey, as he gathers his troops.
They're really going to need a huge team performance from this point on, Richmond. They haven't got the big goal kicker, a la Wayne Carey, to turn the game around. North Melbourne have, and he's doing the job at the moment.
So at three-quarter time, the Tigers are 9-10, the Kangaroos 11-7.
It took a kick after the siren to separate the sides last season. On Saturday night, they'll be fighting like cats and dogs again.
North with a little break at three-quarter time, 11-7 to 9-10.
7 Sports is proud to present this match as part of the 1995 Coca-Cola AFL Premiership season.
A reminder about the AFL Centenary memorabilia. Search right to AFL Centenary. Post Office Box 4000, Richmond East 3121. Fax number 96545203. Tipper.
Oh, Bruce, so the crowd is starting to pump up now. They're all chanting Richmond, Richmond, Richmond. John Northey has asked some of his players who've been down the last half there, the Nations and the Maxfield, just to lift and get involved in every contest. And Dennis Prager once again has just read the Bible.
Good on you, Dipper. 11-7 to 9-10. We're set for a great last quarter. Mitsubishi Motors match stats. Jared.
Yeah, as you can see, the centre breaks have certainly evened up there, and perhaps who wins that contest in the last quarter will go on and win the game. Everything else relatively even. The Kangaroos using a little bit more handball and have had more possessions. And these two have been at it all evening. Jureka needs to kick some goals.
Start of the final term. The first of 4 finals this weekend in Melbourne. Bullis out of the centre. North are 9 points in front. Quick kick by Bauer. Miranda couldn't quite to full forward. Martin. Miranda gets another go. Beautiful handball. Well played. Gale's got the goal. Just what this match needed. 3 goals to Gale. Miranda important. And the Tigers are back. Again, 10-10 to 11-7. And yes, Jared, it was Richmond that got it out of the centre.
Yeah, it's a big knock there. I think it was from Bullis. Quick kick out of the middle. And Miranda has just been terrific since he's come on. Perhaps could have finished his work a touch better, but couldn't have done it any better on that occasion. And Brendan Gale very pleased with the handball.
Gee, you don't deny the Tiger, do you? Season 1994 was sensational for them, but they keep on coming in season 1995. The chance again, Knights dragged off the football. Back to Michael Gale, kicks it high, not all that handsome. Punched away by Wayne Schwass on Matthew Rogers. And over for a boundary throw-in. Schwass has had 8 and 4. Perhaps he is the player that can carry North Melbourne to success. Wayne Campbell is Richmond's godsend. He's been terrific, Campbell. Robert Scott in the action. Couldn't get clear. This is Schwass, slips over, and it slips out of his hands. And he's left lamenting. Wayne Schwass, boundary throw in. Broderick, Rogers, Swash, Ruckman, McKernan. Bullis has done a pretty good job. Anthony Dwyer gets clear, kicks over his left shoulder. Back goes Knights. Michael Gale does well. Beautiful little kick. Campbell has marked at right half back.
He's had about 20 kicks, Campbell. Gets distance. Bullis the target. McKernan in the front spot. Miranda. Good kick, actually, to keep it in. Naish. Broderick, normally constructive. That's a good kick to set up for. Didn't quite get to go. Surely a free kick. Jerica, he's got it! The Tigers are in front!
He's got a free kick, I think. He's picked the free kick out now.
Oh, it's coming back now, the free kick.
Well, that was the latest whistle that's been blown in a game of football this year.
Well, it was certainly there, but the umpire did not blow it. So Anderson gets it. Tigers are not in front. North are in front. 11-7 to 10-10. Blakey at half-back. What a great match this has been. To centre wing, McKernan. Quick kick by Rock, gets good distance. At 50, Longmire. Does he get a favourable bounce? Can he get the handball? Slowly he does. Freeborn in the pocket. Left foot across the face and through for a behind. Goal umpire wants it. It is. Tape taking the mark. 11-8 to 10-10.
And we know, Bruce, that there's no drawn match in the finals other than the grand final. So there'll be extra time if these two teams are locked together at the final siren. Callaway, handball into the path of Whitney. Dwyer gets in there, just provides a nuisance value. And Robert Scott. Nothing much he can do with the football. He's been pretty good, Scott. He's had 11 kicks and 13 handballs. Applied 4 tackles. His opponent, his immediate opponent, Matthew Knights, was very good early. McKernan kicks forward for North Melbourne in the direction of Carey. Turner there for Richmond, kicks it back near the centre of the ground. But Dwyer, he's had some important possessions too since coming on off the bench. Well done, Bond. Terrific stuff, Bond. The tackle didn't have the football. Free kick to Bond. Freeborn, just a little overzealous. Bond has the football just behind the wing. The Richmond best and fairest winner. He's kicked towards half forward. Gale with one hand. Comes back to Daffy. Daffy's kick. Quickly towards full forward. Miranda go in. No. It's left to Bullis. Pump it on, Paul Bullis. First goal. He started at centre half back on Carey. He's kicked the goal to put Richmond in front of the qualifying final. They're 2 points in front, the Tigers.
And all of a sudden, the gamble on Whitney is starting to pay dividends. Because Paul Bullis has left Carey and gone down and kicked the goal, which has been pretty vital right at this stage.
The Tigers roaring here. 11-10, 11-8. McKernan, that's good play. To centre half forward. Carey's give a beauty. Scott can kick a goal. He's at 30. He will kick a goal, surely. They're back in front, the Kangas.
This is a great game. This is a great game of football.
And what a great punch it was from Corey McKernan. Paul Bullis, his immediate opponent, got the last goal. And McKernan was responsible with Scott for this one. Look at this big punch. As good as a kick.
How many times has Carey given a goal away tonight or kicked one?
It'd have to be,
10.
what, 8 to 10, yeah.
Absolutely.
And, of course, missed a couple he could have perhaps sealed.
Tell you what, he's played a good game, Robert Scott.
He's balanced it up with Knights in the middle, hasn't he?
Oh, my word, he's had 25 posies and kicked that vital goal. Knights has had 19. Bullis, he looks pretty anxious. McKernan up high again, the height advantage. Taken away by Knights. 20th possession to the acting skipper for Richmond. Wide to half forward. Good contest here. Daffy and Laidley. Daffy handballs it in front of himself. Did Laidley hang on? No. Scholl, a high kick. Gets it back near the wing. The mark is taken by Scott. nearly discarded by Geelong 3 years ago when he played in a final series for the Cats. Crosses to North Melbourne and is playing well in a final here for the Kangaroos. Down goes Callaway. The tackle was just a little bit long. Dwyer's kick to half forward. Great stuff. Bauer. Hand pass across the goal line. Tate. He's got numbers. Must mark it. Matthew Knights does. His left foot can kick it into the centre. Whitney's provided some good run. He goes wider still. Tate has the football.
Gets it to centre wing. Gale the target. Bullis. Look for a handball, then went with a kick. Naish attacks it. Smith with him. He's got a cut forward, Smith. That's why he's got the headband around him. All bandaged up. Lead has changed hands 8 times in this match so far. Change coming up. Allison on for Archer. Archer's been struggling with an ankle. Allison's been struggling with form. Gale. Smith caught up. Daffy. He was held on to. No free kick. North do well. Quick kick away at the back by Blakey. Good mark taken by Dwyer. As Robbo said, he's been all right. Dwyer.
Great little give from Anderson, who just skidded into the pack and got a handball out.
High ball to centre wing. Carey, the target, as he will be for most of the last quarter. Broderick to Wigney. Oh, had a bad one, Wigney. Carey, Allison. Can hurt you sometimes. He's gone. Play on call. McKernan. Free kick now. Gee, the umpires very late sometimes.
I love it when they pay the award or the free kick when they just can't see through the play with the ball.
McKernan's got a cork thigh, so Dipper tells us. Kick by Campbell. Gale was a riser. Naish around the body. High ball, Jerica and Martin. They go for it. Comes to ground. Daffy swoops on it. Well played by Scholl. Little toe poke, good. Schwass had 5 kicks in the first quarter. He's only had 3 since. It's a 12-8 to 11-10.
McKernan, gee, he's a jumping jack, isn't he? Close to the end of the game, and he's still fighting it out in the ruck. Campbell gets out on his left foot, goes for goal. Campbell misses to the left. 4 behinds, kicked by Wayne Campbell in a game that has produced for him personally 22 kicks and 2 handballs, and Dipper has a boundary report.
Yes, right, Robbo. Well, the doctor's asking McKernan to come off, and they've got Mark Roberts actually coming onto the ground very shortly.
Laidley at half-back. Kicks to centre wing. Tigers with numbers. Bullis. Tate was there. Armstrong on the bottom. Oh, that was a throw.
The umpires fair dinkum responded to the crowd then.
Callaway at centre wing. That lazy old leg as he kicks to Charles at centre half forward. Well done, Geist at the back. Punches it away. Robert Scott. 26 possessions. Laidley squeezes it out. Tate should have taken it. Was he interfered with? Armstrong pushes forward. Good gift to Scholl. On the run. Carey's onto it. Bouncing ball. Got a bad bounce. Now Longmire. Good one to Allison. Allison kicks it and goes. A very good one. He's hardly had a sniff all night, Allison, but he's a finisher. Armstrong down. Let's hope that knee's all right. North Melbourne get away. 13-8 to 11-11. Carey again, a little give.
And such is the nature of the beast, playing on the half-forward flank. You sometimes only need 3 or 4 kicks in the right position, and you can turn your whole game around. There's one for Allison.
Free kick out of the centre goes to Richmond, taken by Bullis. He kicks to half forward, knocked away from Brendan Gale. He goes in and makes a contest of it. Blakey's head pass wide. Dwyer again. Short kick. All right. Asked to play on is Matthew Armstrong. His kick towards half forward. Nearly taken by Knights. Run away by Robert Scott. Too anxious. Had plenty of time then, Robert Scott. Obviously wasn't aware of the situation and kicks are behind.
Jerica coming off for Prescott, whose fresh legs hasn't been on the ground tonight.
28 possessions to Scott. Turner with the football. 13-9 to 11-11. Kick in Bullis. That should be paid. It is.
Having a big last quarter.
7 kicks, 2 handballs, 3 hit-outs. He kicks wide, out near the wing. No mark. Schwass. No room. That's out of bounds deliberate, isn't it? Surely.
Well, that's always deliberate. He just got confused. He was in two minds. He was going to give the right-hand handball to Carey. He would have been under pressure.
Well, this is Rogers for the Tigers. His kick lands 50 metres from goal. Punch back towards centre-half forward. Gathered by Martin. Away to Laidley. North Melbourne are out of trouble. The mark is taken by Freeborn. He can play on. Player on his own is Allison. Gets back onto his left foot. Beautiful pass. Longmire's on the end of it. 50 metres from goal. And the momentum is with North Melbourne. 11 and a half minutes left. They lead 13-9 to 11-11. The margin is 10 points after this kick. It could possibly be 16. Long kick by Longmire. Oh, it might be touched right on the line by Paul Bullis. He's a happy man. Behind to Johnny Longmire. 4 goals, 1. The margin 11 points. We've got 11 and a half minutes left. Dennis Pagan. Gee whiz, there's some animation in the North Melbourne coach's box.
What a big touch it was by Bullis. That might have been curtains. It was a great kick actually by Longmire. Tigers under siege now. Turning a kick in. They've come back all year. Can they do it again? Free kick North, surely. No. Here's Rock. Dwyer was a bit stiff. To full forward. Good take. Longmire didn't quite hang. He had it for about 7/8. John Northey taking the headphones off, looking on. Wanting some inspiration. Needing a winning move. Wanting somebody to do something. It's at the wrong end for him. Carey, Allison. Freeborn. Campbell, good tackle. It's got him. It's going to be a ball up. It's been a magnificent match. It deserves a thrilling finish.
I think we'll get that. I just wonder whether Dennis Pagan will concede on Wayne Schwass and perhaps push him down deep into the forward line.
Wigney, Tate went without it. Wigney off the ground. Bond. Still Bond. Freeborn with him. North Melbourne were hoping for a free kick.
Good effort by both players.
Yeah, it was. Bond had to mop up a bit for Wigney there, and then North Melbourne with a tackle. It's been good, Bond. Ricky Nixon. Part-time football commentator, almost full-time manager, ex-player. 3 clubs. Round the corner, Rock. Quick kick by Campbell. Yet another one. Well played by the Kangazoe. McKernan going forward. Kick away by Bauer. Important ball. Knight's got his body in there. Going back with Geister to Laidley. Laidley can measure it. McKernan. Tate. Now Bullis has had a big last term. Swings it wide. Bauer shouldered well. Bauer's tackle okay. Off the ground by Rock. Kellaway misses it. Had to go. Knights went to ground. Has to get it out. Allison got rid of it in a hurry. Scholl, good umpiring, letting it go. Very good. Tate goes to ground. Oh, that was a big call. A very big call.
I'm glad he swallowed the whistle as far as the free kick was concerned. Gee, Bauer and Craig Scholl having a bit of a dust-up off the football. Umpire will bounce about 30 metres out from the North Melbourne goal. Up high was Anderson. Rock. Schwass. Oh, yes, cap it off. Wade Schwass says, see you later. He's been quiet, hasn't he? He had a terrific first quarter. But that goal might seal Richmond's fate.
Book your seat for the Brownlow on Monday night, September 25. Live and exclusive to 7 Sports.
Bauer off the ground for Richmond. Touch of blood on the cheek. 14-10, 11-11. North on top. Scott again. Touched off the boot. Gale goes to ground. High tackle. Play on call. North going like winners. Richmond have got to get the next and get it in a hurry. Scott to Freeborn. A high ball. Getting back, Tate courageously couldn't hold it. Allison's been important. He's going to kick another one. That's it, you'd reckon. Allison again. They've carved them up in the last couple of minutes. Allison's been a part of it. 11-11 to 15-10. It's a pretty big lead now, suddenly, isn't it?
Well, North Melbourne have really played all over the Tigers since the Tigers got that early one. But perhaps McKernan coming off the ground with that injury, being replaced by Roberts, could have an impact. 8 minutes to go, 8.5 minutes in fact. Still time for the Tigers, but really under the pump now.
Well, centre break's all important in the dying minutes of this game. Through goes Anthony Rock. He was determined. Kicks towards full forward. Bounces in towards the forward pocket area for North Melbourne. Back goes Turner. Forced to kick with the left. Not all that good. Finishes with Scholl. Scholl across his left shoulder to the front of the goals. Nearly taken. And kick forward by Scott. He's happy. It's a goal. Well, Robert Scott has kicked two. And all of a sudden, the game has been blown out of the water. 16-10 to 11-11. That's 29 points. And the Richmond coaches box left wondering.
Well, Craig Scholl has just got better as this game's continued. And as has Robert Scott, who's just come over the top of Matthew Knights in the last quarter or so. He's pumped up to 31 possessions.
11-11, 16-10. Magnificent last quarter by North Melbourne. 5 goals to 2 in the final term. The Doc, great player at North Melbourne, a captain and president of the club when they won their premiership. The first of them in 75, part of that Barassi era. Former #1 man in the VFL, Alan Ayler. Quick kick away by Scholl to centre wing. North are playing superbly here. Now Roberts. This game has really, as Robbo said, they've blown it out of the water in the last few minutes. Turner to the boundary, out of play.
In trouble, maybe a bit of a hamstring strain there.
He is in trouble, Scotty Turner. It's bad luck. Might have to come off. Longmire's on his own, by the way, about 15 metres away. Campbell's had to go half to him. Maxfield's gone back to butter up. I think Turner's going to have to come off in a hurry.
Just a cramp, I think.
Oh, feel it from here. Might be able to run it out, but time against Richmond. Rogers got a free kick. They trail 11-11 to 16-10.
Just haven't been able to kick enough goals, the Tigers. Rogers from right half back. His kick lands nearly up to centre half forward. Taken by Miranda. Miranda's kick into the pocket. Well done. Naish marks on his chest in front of Ross Smith. He's too far out, you would think. Chris Naish. He will kick right to the goal line. Went for the big torpedo punt kick. The ball spills in the square. Daffy up high. North Melbourne will concede a behind. 11-12 plays 16-10. Margin is 28 points in favour of North Melbourne. And Anderson is back there to kick the footy in. Here's a beautiful kick of the football. Goes straight down the ground. It's the furthest way away. Miranda couldn't gather it. Scott again. Laidley kicks wide, looks for Carey and finds him. Oh, he's going to be a powerhouse, isn't he, in this final series? Carey's kick to full forward. Oh, good mark. Well done, Longmire. Prescott has been on the bench for the whole game. Just got out of position there by the taller and perhaps a little bit more stronger Johnny Longmire.
Who incidentally has had a bottler of a night. His form's just been up and down a little bit this season, but terrific tonight. Taking some big grabs, kicked some good goals. Armstrong we saw limping off, now just sitting down on the bench.
Longmire kicks for goal, and he's got 5. So Longmire equals Wayne Carey as North Melbourne's leading goal scorer. Their support act has been Scott, Blakey and Allison with 2 each.
Dean Laidley just running off half back, getting the ball down to Carey. Mark this one up to about number 13, I think, Bruce, that he's been involved in this evening. Gets it to his partner in crime, in the horse who kicks truly.
11-12 to 17-10. The official attendance tonight, 68,226. Miranda out of the centre. Wobbly old kick to the pocket. Naish and Smith. Geister back there, happy to push it out. It's been a great effort by North Melbourne. They were in 6th position. They couldn't afford a loss tonight. Had Footscray or Brisbane won and they lost, they were out. Richmond surely won't go out. Everything would have to go against them for them to miss out playing in the 2nd week, but they've lost the advantage of finishing 3rd. They're back in the ruck now. It'll take a super effort for them, and John Northey knows that oh so well. For so much of this game, they were there stride for stride, so to speak, with North Melbourne. Goal for goal. 8 times the lead changed hands in a thrilling first 3.5 quarters. But North have just overpowered them completely. Anderson sweeps it wide. He's been good, hasn't he? To Scholl. Longmire the target. Oh, he's in form now. He's on song. He has these nights, Longmire, where he is very special. And tonight is one of them.
Well, Lee Matthews has suggested it's usually against Collingwood, but he does it a few more times than that.
Well, he'll kick this from what we've seen earlier. Remember the Bullis touch, he was a bit further out. He seems to be in wonderful form. Oh. Big high kick, just a hook though. Longmire with 5 and Carey with 5. They've been their champion forwards. Carey's kicked 64 goals this season, matches his best of 2 years ago. And Longmire's up to 54. They've really won well now, North. And suddenly, they're certainly a premiership contender. 17-11 to 11-12. They'll shorten up for the flag after tonight.
Well, it was a pretty wide-open contest, wasn't it, I thought. Carlton were perhaps the favourites, deservedly so. This is Dwyer. He's been a key player. Came off the bench. No mark. What can Rock do? Hit the post.
It's interesting, Robbie, you mentioned Rock at the start of the telecast, and Scott. Important that they both got touches. Rock's had 19 and Scott's had 32. Not bad, is it?
Yes, well, I think that Richmond's midfield was going to be an area of concern, and that was where Rock and Scott were going to be key players. And it's a pretty good victory by anyone's standards, I would think, North Melbourne over Richmond, because Richmond have been dogged for most of the year. A little bit of bad luck with a few injuries, but, well, you can't really blame that because they're all out there having a bit of a dip. Freeborn just misses it off the ground, Maxfield. And the boundary umpire will throw it in once again. Maxfield has had a quiet night. Just 2 kicks, 4 tackles. Gale and Roberts. Gale gets his left hand to it. Matthew Knights. Roberts for North Melbourne. A high kick. Doesn't really go all that much forward. Knights gathers, then gets it clear. Maxfield a chance here. Taken by Daffy. Well, the hand pass not really directed at anyone as far as his teammates are concerned. Scholl, Geister, then Rock across his left shoulder. Gale, Freeborn is there. He's still going pretty hard at it. He can probably see the chance of playing in a successful North Melbourne side in the finals. On the bench there, Matthew Armstrong and McKernan. And Corey McKernan has been a key player, hasn't he? Going into the ruck and just being a jumping, leaping and athletic young player. High kick, Carey. Rogers misses it. Blakey, hand pass. Scholl couldn't quite get the distance. Charles Campbell, his kick goes wide, very wide, out in front of Michael Gale for the boundary throw-in. 60 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. Looks a little tired. It's amazing how tired you can look when you're staring defeat down the barrel. Roberts grabbed hold of. Contest here. Maxfield. Now Matthew Knights. Gets onto his left foot. The kick is beautifully smothered. That really was a typical North Melbourne effort. Their fans are pretty happy with that. 2 3/4 minutes left. They lead 17-12 to 11-12.
Prescott and Geister Maxfield tackle on Scholl. Lady just very happy to tap it out. So the sting's gone out of what has been a great game of footy. Richmond will be back next week, surely. Tony Jewell in the front, and John Northey just obscured slightly. Rock goes to ground, pushes it forward. Quick kick by Prescott, didn't go very far. Missed by Dwyer, but he's been pretty good. Pushes it forward. Laidley's little paddle to Smith. Anderson went to ground, then ripped it back in. What a good season Anderson's having. Smith gives it back. Stuart Anderson. 11-12, 17-12. Couple of minutes remaining in this, the official second qualifying final, and the first of 4 on the weekend. Smith, little kick, wants the boundary line, he'll get it. North have finished it off well. 6 goals, 5 in the last quarter to 2-2.
And their fans are pretty happy with this result. Puts them in a slightly better position than they were before this final series started. I suppose it all depends on results, doesn't it, Bruce? People keep asking you what's happening with this final 8, and I say wait till 5 o'clock Sunday night. You might have a better idea. The ball will be bounced 50 metres from the Richmond goal. Can they get a late goal? Give them some sort of impetus for maybe their next chance. Knocked clear by Daffy. Rogers robbed of it by Schwassy. Kicked a magnificent goal earlier in this quarter. Kicked off the ground by Dwyer. Not really all that effective. Knights, now Tate, back onto his left foot. A little bit of time now to settle, and kicks well. Mark is taken by Rogers. So with less than a minute left, Matthew Rogers can kick a goal for Richmond and pull the margin back to 30 points. But Callaway in a little bit of strife there. Chris Bradshaw, the Richmond doctor, just attending to Duncan Callaway. But just the formalities with Rogers. He's 30 metres out, directly in front. Runs close to the man on the mark and kicks accurately. He's got 2 goals. Matthew Rogers' second goal is Richmond's 12th. Their fans are still here cheering them on, but they trail by 30 points.
Great little kick, this one from Tate. He found Rogers. He's had a pretty good go on the wing in the second half. Kicked a couple of goals. That's a good one. No, it's not going to count for much.
12-12, 17-12. In the dying seconds of this qualifying final, Rogers with a couple of goals. It's been all right tonight. But Gale kicked 3. All of them, well, 2 of them in the third quarter and 1 in the second. But what a great win for North Melbourne. They're in with a big shot. Rock's quick kick. That's it. The Kangaroos have won. Carey and Longmire, 10 goals between them. And Dennis Pagan, what a great record he's got as a coach. Took North Melbourne from 12th to 5th in his first season, 3rd last year. Let's go down. Dippers on the ground with Ian Fairley.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Ian, what a tough game. You expected that tonight?
Yeah, they came out really firing. Richmond, to our credit, we stuck at our task all night, and we drew away from them in the last quarter there.
Talk about finals, about the nervous energy before the game. Take us through the first 5 minutes of the game.
Well, I suppose it's a bit more intense than a normal game, but, you know, we're probably used to it. Compared to Richmond, they've played finals for a long time, so I suppose we had a bit of an edge over from there, but, you know, our guys just played great tonight.
It's a good signs tonight. Robert Scott played excellent. Rocky.
Yeah, the little blokes really play well. Like, they've got to cover the loss of Steve-O. Like, Steve-O's just a big hole in our team. And to their credit, the little guys have really done well.
You're going well as a postman?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Nice to get out of it, mate.
Good on you, mate. Well done,
Thanks for that tipple with Ian Fairley. As the Richmond team come off the ground, they'll be disappointed. They gave it a great shot. Back with North Melbourne. Oh, what a wonderful player Carey is. saw him play one of the great final series last year. And he started this year pretty well. Chrissy Bond certainly gave 100%, as he always does. Hard now for Richmond to come back, but if results go the way they probably will, North and Richmond will be in the same boat next week, back into the 4 outside the preliminary final situation. It's if Carlton and Geelong both win.
If Carlton and Geelong both win, it's quite possible that Richmond can play North again.
No, they can't. Not under the Richmond won't play North again, even if they got to the grand final. They cannot. Well, that's the only time they can't play twice in the one final series. The way it's been set up, so they won't play one another next week.
I was just wondering if they had to play each other, whether you'd consider maybe Richmond being able to reverse the result now.
Well, if Carlton and Geelong win, Essendon and West Coast will swap with these two clubs, and the 4 will go into a mix next weekend. That's what will happen. For Richmond to miss out now, Brisbane would have to win, and so would Footscray. And that's unlikely, that 8 and 7 would both win. That's the only way that Richmond can drop out of the finals after tonight. North Melbourne, on the other hand, were in a much more precarious position. Well, tough, Gerard, for the Tigers to come back, but as I said a moment ago, they're really, unless results are extraordinary, they're back in the same pool as North Melbourne, facing probably an Essendon or a West Coast next week.
And I'd hate to be playing the Tigers. They're a club that's just shown true grit all season, and I would think that they'll come back snarling as they started the game tonight. I think they'd be disappointed, obviously, with the way they fell away in the last quarter.
What about this team, North Melbourne?
Well, I think North Melbourne perhaps went in as the public underdog. The bookmakers had them favourites, but most of the public thought that North Melbourne would probably go down. Perhaps because they looked a little bit vulnerable with the loss of Anthony Stevens. There's a couple of fresh faces in there, being a couple of guys that have only played 1 and 2 games this year for them. But it was just a tremendous effort. They needed a performance like Robert Scott on Matthew Knights. They needed Anthony Rock to play up to his best, and both players returned exactly what Dennis Pagan would have required. So when you consider that Wayne Swass perhaps didn't have his best game, it was a pretty good performance for North Melbourne to get over one of the best midfields in the competition.
They've got a good defence, North Melbourne, and that defence stood very firm, particularly after half-time. The final scores of the Melbourne Cricket Ground: 17-12 North, Richmond 12-12. It was a tremendous game for 3.5 quarters for tension, but North Melbourne came right away in the end and won splendidly. Carey 5, Longmire 5, and Nash got 3, and so did Brendan Gale for Richmond. It was 17-12 to 12-12 in the end. Now, for Richmond to stay in the finals race, and they really should, Footscray and Brisbane would both have to win. They're both outsiders in their matches coming up on the weekend.
The 1995 AFL Premiership season. Brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors Australia, Qantas, McDonald's, Mobil, Carlton Draft, and National Australia Bank.
Now, today's matches at Waverley Park, Essendon and West Coast, should be a thriller, and so should the match at the Melbourne Cricket Ground between Geelong and Footscray. And then on Sunday, the last of the qualifying finals, Carlton, the top team, up against Brisbane, who snuck into 8th place. Hope you enjoyed it tonight. It was really exciting. Carey at his brilliant best. North Melbourne by 5 goals.
That's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about, I got a long road to walk down to catch a tram to my favorite ground. Use my legs, use my voice, make some noise, support the boys, and that's what football means to me. That's how I like my footy to be, and well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football.
This has been a 7 Sports production.